far as having a very unique experience, they would, kind of bond you guys and link you guys just for going through all this together at this particular time.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was definitely a bonding experience. I think if you ask anybody who was a part of this, bubble experience, I think they'll tell you the same thing. There's not really a lot to do, down here except for, be with your brothers. I think we got a lot closer, and I think that showed on the court each and every time we went out there and fought.
Greg?
Caris, you obviously had the lead dog role down here in the bubble, and next season will be very different with KD and Kyrie coming back. And, there's been all this talk about you possibly being the third star to go with them. What do you think you personally gained from this experience that will help you trying to fit in with them and what they need from you in the future?
Yeah, well, obviously, this was my first time being in that role, for this extended amount of time. I think my third year, I was in that role before I got hurt. But obviously, there was kind of, more players around. It was a more balanced attack. I think, these past, 12 games or so, I think I was the lead dog. And I gained a lot of experience from that, the first couple of games, even the scrimmage games, I felt more comfortable, in that role as the games went on. I think in the regular games, it showed the same. And I think the playoffs, it was another step. And I think with more games, you get more experience. But I think, next year, with more people out there on the court, it'll be a lot easier for all of us. I think you kind of saw in the playoffs, they were kind of boxing one, double teaming, triple teaming sometimes. I feel like next year they won't be able to do that. No one will be able to do that with the talent that we have on the court. And I think that, just playing in this environment definitely gave, everyone who played in it a step up going into next year for sure.
Hey, Caris, you talked about the talent. That's obvious that you guys are going to have next year. But there are going to be a lot of roster changes, obviously, between today and training camp. How much would having Jacques back help continuity on a team that's obviously going to go through a lot of changes in this offseason?
Be huge. I think if you ask anybody who was a part of, JV's 2 games before the cutoff and then, the whole experience here, I think they'll tell you that he's very deserving of the job. He's done a great job down here of winning with less. And I think everybody saw that. He brought the group together. We fought each and every night. And like I said, I think if you ask anybody, they'll tell you the same thing. And we're really proud of the job that he did, proud of the job that we did as a group. But I think he led us each and every night. He led us each practice, and it was good to see for sure.
Christian?
Hey, Caris, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but obviously you've got KD and Kyrie coming back next season, we hope at least. What does that or how does that change just everybody else's role on the floor when you've got 2 guys who are just such dominant scorers like that? And second, obviously, it sounds like you're about to be the third star on this team. What other type or what type of player do you think helps best, or what type of player do you think you guys need to help push you guys towards championship contention? Is there like a specific makeup of player that you think you guys might have to try to go get?
I think we have what we need, to be honest with you. Obviously those guys are great players. Both, have championships, MVP caliber players, in my opinion. So, playing with those guys, the court's going to be wide open next year. And I think we're all going to be, byproducts of, them having a lot of attention on the court. And I think the sooner that we figure out how to play with each other, the better it's going to be. But, everyone has high basketball IQ. Obviously, Katie and Kyrie, Spencer as well. Like I said, the more we play together and the quicker we play together, the more that, we're going to mesh, the quicker we're going to mesh. And I think it's going to be a beautiful thing out there.
Alex?
Caris, kind of piggybacking off of that, how quick, given the expectations and the excitement for next season, how quickly does your mind shift towards that and preparing for that? And given you guys just had an 11th-month season, essentially, that started over in China and went through, a crazy amount of craziness, I guess, just do you give yourself a few weeks off before worrying about all that?
Yeah, I think mentally I definitely need a break, just for maybe a couple of days or a week or however long. I don't think I've ever gone through a season like this before. Like you said, that was so long. So I definitely take some time to myself, reflect, make sure my body's good, and then, gear up for next season.
Tom?
Caris, when you look at the way Jarrett played down here, from the minutes to the rebound numbers to the assist numbers, how much of a jump did you see from him in his growth and development?
Jay grew tremendously. And I say this all the time. I think Jay's going to be, top 3 centers in the league for a long, long time. And I think that the only person that can stop that is him. He has all the tools. He's learning how to play each and every day. His basketball IQ is growing each and every day, and he wants to be that good. So I think the sky is the limit for Jay. Proud of the way he competed down here. And we knew he was going to have to be really good for us to have a chance to win any games. And he really took that challenge, and he did a great job.
Greg?
Caris, a lot of guys down here to play expanded roles beyond what they were doing before. So when you look ahead to when you get all those veterans back, how much better off is this team in terms of quality depth than you might have been before going through this experience?
I think it's going to pay huge dividends down the stretch. Guys were playing out of role. Guys were playing extended minutes, like you said, playing in big roles in big games. Despite not having a crowd, these are still big games for us. A lot of people watching. So I think that's going to pay huge dividends next year, and individually for guys down the road in their careers for sure. I think a lot of guys gained a lot of confidence down here.
Last question for Caris. Christian?
Caris, one more for you. You touched on it also a little earlier, how you haven't really had this kind of role since before your injury not too long ago. Just from the respect that defenses have given you in terms of how they've had to cover you to stop you, and B, the responsibility that you've had to have as the star of this team in the bubble. Just what has this experience been like for you leading this team in Orlando?
I think I came to a lot more respect for guys that do it on a regular basis, because it's, everybody wants the role, but it's a lot harder than you think. And I feel like I got better, as the games went on. Like I said, the scrimmage games were one thing. I got the hang of it, and then the regular games, I got the hang of it, and then the playoffs are a whole different thing. You saw boxing 1, triangle and 2, double teams, triple teams, and I feel like it is a long playoff series for sure, and you kind of get frustrated, you get down on yourself. But I think at the end of the day, you got to look at it as every game is a new game. You have to attack it like that. But I feel like the experience I gained down here will definitely pay dividends for next year and further down in my career when I get that opportunity again.